Good day everyone! Welcome back to another video lesson in Mathematics Grade 10. And for this video lesson, we will be talking about secant and tangent segments in circles. So let's start! Before we discuss and prove theorems involving secant segments and tangent segments, let us define first secant segment, tangent segment, and external secant segment. So first is the tangent segment. If a tangent line intersects the circle at a certain point, then a segment of the tangent line whose endpoints are the point of tangency and any point on the line is called a tangent segment. In the figure, line CB is a tangent line to circle O at C. That's the point of tangency. Therefore, segment CB, this segment CB, is a tangent segment whose endpoints are point C and point B. Now, let us define secant segment. If a segment intersects a circle in 2 points and one of the endpoints is on the circle, then the segment is called a secant segment. In the figure, line CA intersects circle O at points C and B. CA is a secant segment. Segment CA is a secant segment whose endpoints are point C and point A. How about external secant segment? An external secant segment is a part of a secant segment whose endpoint is on the circle and all other points are in the exterior of the circle. So, in the same figure, if one endpoint is on the circle and that is point B and all other points are on the exterior of the circle, so this segment BA is called an external secant segment. And now, we are ready to prove theorems involving secant segments and tangent segments, and they are called power theorems. So the power theorems establishes the relationships between the lengths of the segments in the intersection of secants and tangents of the circle. So the first theorem that we are going to discuss and prove is the 2 seconds power theorem. So it states that if 2 secant segments are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the product of the lengths of one secant segment and its external secant segment is equal to the product of the lengths of the other secant segment and its external secant segment. So in our figure, the product of the secant segment BD and the external secant segment BE is equal to the product of the secant segment BC and the external secant segment BA. So let's prove that one. So consider these 2 secants, line CA or secant CA and secant BE, intersecting at B, at the exterior of circle O. We are going to prove that BD times BE is equal to BC times BA. So we are going to prove this using a 2-column proof. So the first column contains the statements and then the second column contains the reasons. Number 1, we are going to write the given and our reason that is given. Number 2, we draw segment AD, that is segment AD, the dotted line, and segment EC. And the reason, 2 points determine a line. Angle ADB, so ADB, so this angle is congruent to angle ECB. So ECB, this angle. Notice that these two angles are inscribed angles. They intersect the same arc. So two inscribed angles intersecting the same arc are congruent. Okay, that is our reason. And then number 4, angle DBC is congruent to angle DBC itself. Since these two angles, the same din yan, then by reflexive property, they are congruent. We can now say, using number 3 and number 4, that triangle ECB, I'll be using another color so that you can distinguish the two. So this triangle, yan. So para makita, I think hindi siya visible. So parang ganyan. So that triangle, it's like that. So C, then B, and then E is similar to triangle ADB. So yung isang triangle natin, eto. ADB. So ADB. Yun yung triangle natin. By AA similarity theorem. So, if two triangles are similar, then their corresponding sides are proportional. DB, I'm going to use another color. So, let's have this color. So, DB over BC, ito si BC, is equal to BA, this portion, over BE. So this. They are corresponding sides are proportional. So by multiplication property of equality, so we can cross multiply that one. Yeah. So BD times BE is equal to BC times BA. So we have proven that BD times BE is equal to BC times BA. So let's have an example. Example number 1. In the figure below, two secant segments SY and LY intersect at Y. If SN is equal to 9 centimeters and Y, the external secant segment NY, is equal to 5 centimeters, and LY is equal to 15 centimeters, then what is EY? So we are going to find the length of the external secant segment EY. Based on our previous discussion, the product of the secant segment SY times its external secant segment NY is equal to the product of the secant segment LY times external secant segment EY. By substitution, SY is equal to 14. Just add 9 and 5. Times NY is equal to 5. Substitute. That is equal to NY, it is 15. Times EY. That is unknown. After that, we divide both sides by 15. 15 divided by 15, 1. So, ang natira na lang sa right side ay EY. The greatest common factor of 5 and 15 is 5. So, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So, 14 times 1 is 14 over 3. We can no longer simplify that one, so that will be the answer. So the length of EY is 14 over 3 centimeters. So we are done. Now, let's proceed to our next theorem. It is the tangent-secant power theorem. If a tangent segment and a secant segment are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the square of the length of the tangent segment is equal to the product of the lengths of the secant segment and its external secant segment. Okay. In our figure, CB is a secant segment, AB is an external secant segment, and DB is the tangent segment. So the square of the tangent segment is equal to the product of the secant segment and the external secant segment, CB and AB, respectively. So we are going to prove that one. Given CB is a secant segment and DB is a tangent segment to circle O, as you can see in our figure. We're going to prove that the square of the tangent segment is equal to the product of the secant segment and the external secant segment, CB and AD, respectively. So we are going to prove this using the two-column proof. Number 1, we're going to write the given. CB is a secant segment and DB is a tangent segment. Reason given. We're going to draw segment CB and segment AD. So this is segment CD and segment AD. Reason, 2 points determine a line. Now, we're going to prove muna that the two triangles, triangle ADB and triangle DCB, are similar. So first, angle B is congruent to itself. That is by reflexive property. So, ang sinasabi ko kanina, we're going to prove that triangle, etong triangle na to, triangle ADB is similar to triangle DCB. So, angle B is congruent to angle B. So, ang ibig sabihin, yung sarili din lang niya yan, so that is reflexive property. Now, the measure of angle BCD is equal to 1/2 the measure of arc AD. Asan si angle BCD? Si angle BCD ay ito. It is equal daw sa 1/2 of its intercepted arc. Reason? Take note that in an inscribed angle, the measure of that inscribed angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of its intercepted arc. So, tama. Yun yung reason natin. And then, for number 5, the measure of angle BDA, so BDA, we are referring to this, is equal to 1/2 of its intercepted arc. The reason is the intersecting tangent and secant on the circle theorem. If we have a secant and a tangent intersect on the circle, then the angle formed is equal to 1/2 of its intercepted arc. So, na-prove na din natin yan. Therefore, by transitive property of equality, yan, pareho sila, na equal to 1/2 of the measure of arc AD. Therefore, the measure of angle BCD is equal to the measure of angle BDA. Transitive property of equality. Yun. So, na-prove na natin na si etong angle na to at saka etong angle na to ay congruent. So by AA, hindi pa muna, equal muna yan. So angle BCD is congruent to angle BDA by definition of congruent angles. So we can now prove that the two triangles are similar since na-prove natin that the corresponding two angles are congruent by AA similarity theorem. So since na-prove na natin that the two triangles are similar, then their corresponding sides are proportional. So si BD, this portion, at saka kay over CB, eto, you can rotate it para mas makita, is equal kay AB, eto, over DB. Eto. Yan. So, reason natin, corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. By multiplication property of equality, DB times DB, that is DB squared, is equal to CB times AB. So, let's have an example on that. In the figure below, EY, so a secant segment, and EL are a tangent segment. No? If EY is equal to 20 centimeters and SY is equal to 15, then what is EL? And based on our previous theorem, EL, the square of EL, is equal to the length product of EY times ES. Okay. So, ang hinahanap natin si EL. So, it will remain EL, the quantity squared. It is equal to EY. Anong measure ni EY? It is 20 centimeters. So, 20. And ES, hindi natin alam. But we know that EY is 20 and SY is 15. Therefore, this is 5. Kasi nga 20, the whole of that. So 5 plus 15, 20. So this will be 5. So EL, the quantity squared, is equal to 100. So by extracting the square root of EL, so EL now is equal to the square root of 100. We consider only the positive square root. We're not going to consider the negative square root since wala namang negative na length. So, EL now is equal to 10 centimeters. So, this is equal to 10. So, we are done. Now, let's proceed to our next power theorem, which is called the two chords power theorem. If two chords of a circle intersect, then the product of the measures of the segments of one chord is equal to the product of the measurement of the segments of the other chord. What does it mean? It means that if we have here two chords intersecting at E, not necessary that yung E ay nasa center ng circle, si AE, this portion, this segment, is times DE, the other segment of chord AD, is equal to the product of CE times BE. Okay, let's prove that one. So given chords CB and AD intersecting at E. Again, not necessary that E is at the center of the circle. We are going to prove that AE times DE is equal to CE times BE. So first, we are going to prove this by the two-column proof. So number 1, we are going to write the given. Reason, given. Number 2, draw CA. Yan yung dotted. And then BD. reason 2 points determine a line. Angle A, so we're referring to this, or angle CAD, and angle B, this one, or CBD, if you notice, they intersect the same arc. No? These two angles, angle A and angle B, are inscribed angles. So, remember that if they intersect the same arc, then they are congruent. And angle C is congruent to angle D. The same din. The two angles are inscribed angles intersecting the same arc. So they are congruent. So we can now say that the two triangles, triangle AEC, this triangle, is similar to triangle BED by AA similarity theorem. Again, we can now say that their corresponding sides are proportional. So we say that AE over BE is equal to CE over DE. By multiplication property of equality, AE times DE is equal to BE times CE. So na-prove na natin yung two chords power theorem. Now let's have an example. In the figure below, SL and NY are chords intersecting at E. If EY is equal to 16 centimeters, NY is equal to 22 centimeters, and SL is equal to 20 centimeters, then find NE, SE, and EL. So, tatlo yung hahanapin nating segments. So, NE, SE, and EL. So, punta muna tayo kay NE. So, we are going to find NE. Remember that NY is equal to 22. So, NE is equal to NY minus EY. Ang NY ay 22 minus EY ay 16. So, 22 minus 16 is equal to 6. And now, let us find SE. Find SE. So, we use the relation SE times EL is equal to NE times EY. Because EL and SE are unknown. What we know lang ay yung length ng SL, which is 20. So, ang hinahanap natin ay SE. So, we let SE be X. Para isang variable lang yung gagamitin natin. So, X times, ano yung length ni EL if this is X? Since this is 20, the whole of this, SL is equal to 20, then yung EL natin will be 20 minus X. So, we write it here, 20 minus X. Bakit 20 minus X, sir? Kasi nga, we represented SE as X. And the whole of this is 20. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang length ng EL ay the whole of this, 20, minus, alisin mo yung length ni SE, which is X. So, 20 minus X, which is equal to NE, it is 6, times EY, which is equal to 16. Okay, multiply X by 20 minus X. So, X times 20, that is 20X, minus X times X, that is X squared, which is equal to 6 times 16, 96. Okay, so we are done with that. Arrange it. We place them all sa left side ng equation. So, negative X squared plus 20X minus 96 equals 0. So, since the first term ay negative, yung x squared natin, usually kasi mas sanay tayo na we multiply or yung leading coefficient natin ay positive. So, better multiply this by negative 1. Ayan. Sige, multiply natin by negative 1. So, we have x squared minus 20x plus 96 equals 0. Now, it is a quadratic equation. So, we can solve this by, you can use factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula. So, we use factoring. What are the factors of 96, positive 96, wherein the sum ay equal to negative 20? By the way, ang first term natin, factors ng x squared, it will be x and x. Ano yung factors ng 96 na kapag inad mo ay negative 20? So, that is negative 8 times negative 12. Tama ba? So, negative 8 plus negative 12, that is negative 20. So, negative 8 minus 12. Ayan, equals 20. Then, by zero product property, x minus 8 equals 0, and then x minus 12 equals 0. So, x equals 8, and x equals 12. So, if SE is equal to 8, then EL will be equal to 20 minus 8, which is equal to 12. But if SE ay equal to 12, then EL is equal to 20 minus 12, which is equal to 8 centimeters. So, nakuha na din natin si EL. So, we are done with example number 3. Okay? Now, let's proceed to word problems involving tangent and secant segments in circle. So, let's consider this problem. A construction corporation plans to build a mega project in Lawag City as shown in the plan at the right. And our figure is not drawn to scale. They will build a shopping mall. They will build a shopping mall, an amusement park, a church, and a government building in one place. The distance of the mall from the amusement park is 106. So this is 106 meters. The distance of the government building from the church is equal to 70 meters. The government building is 60 meters away from the entrance. So this is 60 meters away from the entrance in the bypass road. By how many meters away is the amusement park from the entrance in the bypass road? So, yun yung question mark. Anong distance nito? Nandito yung entrance. May question mark dapat yan. Bakit walang question mark? So, we can illustrate the road like 2 secants intersecting a circle as this one. So, let x be the distance between the amusement park from the bypass road. So, we can apply now yung 2 seconds power theorem. So, the length of the segment, 106 plus x, times the length of the external secant segment, it is x, that is equal to, what is 70 plus 60? So, lagay na lang natin doon. 70 plus 60 times 60. So, get the product, that is 106x plus x squared. X times x, x squared. That is equal to 60 plus 70, 130 times 60. Arrange natin in order. So that will be x squared plus 106x is equal to 130, compute tayo, 130 times 60, that is 7,800. So, by addition property of equality, that will be minus 7,800. Lagay natin sa left side ng equation, equals 7,800 equals 0. Then, we can solve this by factoring, completing the square, or quadratic formula. Sige. Gamitin na lang natin yung quadratic formula. So, our A is equal to 1, B equal to 106, and then C equal to negative 7,800. Recall na yung quadratic formula natin ay negative B plus minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. So, gagamit tayo ng calculator. So, negative B is 106, substitute lang, plus minus the square root of B ay 106 squared minus 4 times our A ay 1, and then our C ay negative 7,800. Okay? All over 2 times 1. So that will be negative 106 plus minus the square root of, malaki siguro to, so 106 squared, that is 11,236 minus 4 times 1 times negative 7,800, that is negative 31,200. So, magiging plus yan, 31,200. All over, 2 times 1 ay 2. So, negative 106 plus minus the square root of, you add the 2, 11,236 plus 31,200. So, that will be 42,436 all over 2. So, 106 plus minus, get the square root of 42,436, that is equal to 206 over 2. So, we can separate the 2. We can write it as x is equal to negative 106 plus 206 all over 2. And then x is equal to negative 106 minus 206 all over 2. So, x is equal to 100 over 2. So, x is equal to 50. Okay? The other one, x is equal to negative 106 plus 206. That is negative 312 over 2. So, x is equal to negative 156. We are going to disregard negative 156 since there's no negative length. So, the distance between the amusement park and the entrance is equal to 50 meters. Okay, that's all for today, my dear learners. I hope you learned a lot for today's session. So, see you again for our video lesson next week. Bye!